Okay, this week's question is from our friend Kathy, and Kathy asks, is it better to vary the times you send text messages, or is it better to keep it consistent, like all messages sent out at 2 p.m.? Or another way to ask is, when is the best time to send text so your peeps actually open and read them?
Good question, Kathy. So the best time to send texts, I think, of course, vary based on use. But what I like to do is put myself in the shoes of the person receiving it. So when would I like to get this thing? So if I'm reminding them about a holy day on Thursday, a text at like 5 or 6 p.m. the night before is great for me because it's before I've planned what I'm doing the next day. It's while I still have time to remember I got to fit that in my schedule. I'm awake, I'm not probably in the middle of dinner yet, so think about those kinds of things. Now, getting a text if it's a bunch of dads and they're at work and it's like sending it to them at 10 a.m. when they're probably in the middle of something else, not as good, right? Again, think about maybe in the evening or on the weekend or a time when they're not already caught up with something else that they have to put their attention towards. So put yourself in the shoes of the person receiving it and think about that. Texts are so powerful at reminding people, but that's why they're so powerful is because they're very disruptive. But getting the right reminder at the right time during the busy week is what makes them so powerful. So a lot of times if it's a reminder like the night before, if you're promoting something or asking for feedback, again, ask what that person's doing right now. If you want someone to reply back to something, then maybe 5:30 is not a great time because they're probably in the car driving home from work maybe, right? So that's not a good time where they're going to reply back because they're driving, hopefully. So think about those things. If you're sending a text and it's 6 a.m, is everyone awake yet? Are they going to be annoyed with you if you get one at 12 at night? So that's where you can use that scheduling feature. Just because you're up at midnight working on something doesn't mean you need to send the communication out right then. Schedule it to go out the next day or at the time that it's supposed to go. So those are a few things to think about, but put yourself in the shoes of the other person. There's in terms of like regular time, like consistency is good if it's if it's needed. If it's a regular event and you got your regular things happening and you have a consistent reminder or something else like that can be helpful. I think consistency is good where it makes sense, but a lot of times it's because it's not consistent, especially with a text, that it actually stands out. It's like, oh, I don't normally get that text from so-and-so. What's that about, right? So you can use both to effect depending on the situation.